All right, let's talk about really starting to make some money here. We talk about offers, one-on-one to group, to masterminds and building that structure. One of the big things that I teach is about being authentic and being real, because we want people to self-select with you. We don't want to create a job or make this really hard. Like, we want to work with people that get us, right? So in order to do that, we've got to create IP. So some of mine is here, morningcoach.com, Get It Done Now, our planning system, Intelligent Life Design. These are things that we've built. Intelligent Life Design being a course or a concept. Get It Done Now is a planning and organization system. And then obviously Morning Coach is, kind of what we're talking about here, where I'm doing a daily podcast that is my IP based around me. I'm not doing interviews. Maybe every once in a while I had Gary Vaynerchuk on. I've had Dr. Wayne Dyer before he passed away, a few people. But the podcast is generally about me. People are paying for my knowledge and my intellectual property. Okay, so just a note about trademarks. I have trademarked Morning Coach. You can trademark. People always ask me about this. If you are going to trademark something, you better be ready to do litigation. So a lot of people say, I'm going to trademark something. But if you're not ready to go out and make sure people aren't doing that and using it, they'll actually use that against you. So if there's like stuff out there, like say if people are using Morning Coach and I'm not going after them saying, hey, stop, then they'll say, hey, well, he never said to them. And so it gets really into the legal battle. So a lot of people get caught up on trademarks, and I just want to caution you, make money before you worry about the trademark. If you put quality out there, you don't need to worry about it. But with that being said, if you do own something, I've owned Morning Coach for years and years and years, so I do want to make sure that, like if a cereal brand goes, hey, here's the Morning Coach, they say, wait a minute, that's confusing people. That's my brand. So there is some trademark stuff with IP, and you could talk to your lawyer about that. But you can do a lot of trademarking yourself. That's what I would suggest. I always tell my students to go get your trademark if that's something you want to do. But remember, it's really about litigation. You're going to say you're going to proceed with that if somebody uses that trademark. So then Get It Done Now, Intelligent Life Design. These are IP ideas that I've created, right? These are things that I have done over time. And then even more than that, it's then written the book. So here's Sacred Six. I have Get Out of Neutral. I have other ebooks. I have Mission Driven. I have a lot of books that I've written. So the thing that I love about books is that it gives you a way to get people to know you. It's almost like we used to call it like what do they call that? I can't remember, like a tripwire. They used to call it a tripwire. I'm not a marketer, so I'm not into the funnel stuff, but they'd say, okay, somebody paid money for you. So remember the ascension model that I showed you. This is on the very bottom. But what's great about it is people are getting to know you and really understanding you if you write these books properly. So I want to give you just a format for a book that would get you started. And again, if you want to work with me a little bit more, oh, wow, here we go. Hey, there it is. You ask and you shall receive. This would be down here at the bottom, so free stuff, and then people read your book. Sacred Six has done very well for me because it is a structured system. And back here I have El Sacred Six in Italian, which is pretty cool. The publisher did that. Just a quick note on publishing versus non-publishing. It's always great to go with a publisher. They do help you. But again, don't get caught up in a lot of that, like trademarks and publishers. So many people get caught up in the education instead of actually doing things. That's what really drives me nuts. People buy a ton of courses. They just keep buying things instead of getting the game plan together. And hopefully with us, with this blueprint, coming to some webinars and maybe even working with me in the future, whatever we put together, you're going to have that plan that you're, checking boxes. And really that's what I'm showing you. The steps are, get yourself a good website up there, start getting your IP together, right? Get a couple offers, start working one-on-one, building your knowledge base, and then, get the technology working, get some communication channels going, one specific, and then start getting the IP protected and by selling it, right? So now you're selling a book. So again, books, great thing to think about is 60K words. Let's just go over this real quick. 10 chapters, and I would say 10 stories about you. Okay, it would be really easy. And then what you do is 60,000 words per chapter. And then what you want to do is maybe 3,000 on the story, and then about 3,000 on the tell. So we want to show, not tell. But this is a great format, and I won't take credit from this. This is for Reed Tracy, the CEO of Hay House, that said, hey, JB, 60,000 words, get this book together, and this is published by Hay House. Again, publishing is great. It just takes a long time. All my new stuff, I'm working on a new book called Sober Weekends for people that are looking to reduce drinking, and then obviously those people are usually looking into productivity and coaching, so they're perfect for me. It's like people that are like, hey, I want to reduce my drinking so I can, get better in life, so they just fit with morning coach. It just works for me. So basically, writing books then, I'm doing the same thing kind of with that book, and I'm looking for that 60,000 words, even though I'm doing 52 weekends of information. But you can come up with 60,000 words, 10 chapters, 10 stories, and then outline that book. The outline is really critical. It's all about outlines. And then I have a thing I call the threes, the power of threes. Let me show you that real quick. And basically what we want to do is you have a main topic, okay? This is how I do my podcast too. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But we have a main topic because I do 15 minutes. Okay, there's one. And then you have 3 subpoints, okay? Then underneath that, you have 3 subpoints. I learned this from Lisa Jimenez years ago. Great teacher for speaking, actually. And this is how I build keynotes and everything. So if you're looking at a chapter, you have your main story, and then you got 3 takeaways that are really consistent with that main story. And then underneath there, you can create stories, statistics, ideas, thoughts, testimonials, ideas, thoughts, testimonials, ideas, whatever it is, quotes. And now you've got 3 things. So you can outline your entire book, okay? You can outline your entire podcast with this. And for me, this is about 15 minutes from stage. We're not even getting into speaking into this course, but we can get into that. I've done real well with speaking even before Morning Coach. That's one of the things I did. I just don't like being on the road a lot. I'm a lifestyle guy. I want to work very little, right? So that's why I'm teaching the stuff I'm teaching. But 15 minutes, this is a great outline for structure. So anything you're doing, and in the speaking business, we always say, tell them what you told them, tell them what you told them, and then tell them what you told them. So you want to kind of get 3 points that are going to get this main topic solidified. And storytelling is really critical with your IP. The better storyteller you are, the more stories you have, I mentioned that in the last video, the stronger you're going to be at creating sales long term. Okay, so that's the power of 3. So again, if we're going to write a book, 60K words, and again, we're not looking to make a lot of money on the book. This is the lead in, okay? This is the lead in into the things that we're going to make money with, which leads me to the IP membership. So for me, there's another note from the story list from the last video. IP membership is what I absolutely love. People come for the content. Okay, people come for the content and stay for the community. I have people that are with me 19 years. So if you want to build a real residual business, you better have something that keeps people coming back. So for me, it's a daily coachcast. And anybody that's watching this can do this. So I do Mondays for free. Again, I'm not trying to get people anymore. I used to when I was top 25 in the world. There's so much noise out there. It makes it really hard. But what really works is that daily message from me. And I do it Saturday mornings, Sunday mornings, and Monday mornings. First thing when I wake up, even before my runs, I sit down and get those done because I feel so good. Like my whole week's done. Like that's my only thing that I really need to do. I mean, obviously we're doing marketing and YouTube videos, but if I had to do only one thing, it would just take care of my Morning Coach members, right? So that was it. And then again, we've got Kajabi. So the great thing with Kajabi is you can create 2 feeds, okay? And you can just Google how to do your feeds. Remember, Google's your friend. And you can have a private feed, which is protected. And that's why I went with Kajabi. And a public feed. Okay, so you have a private and a public feed. So with the private and the public feed, what happens is you're sending this out to shop, whatever, Spotify, all those places. So people are listening, and that's where you're guiding them back. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm very lazy. My Monday one where I organize the whole week and tell people what's going on, that's what I do. I put that up in the public. And that's also our Monday. So I'm doing one Monday, and I'm putting up publicly, and I'm putting it up privately. And those 2 feeds are in Kajabi. Okay, so if you come to the webinar, we'll talk about that even more. But you got 2 basically feeds for the same podcast. So you're uploading one on Monday, and you're uploading one on every day. Okay, so you're scheduling it every day, and you can schedule it. So I told you I used to do it every day back in the day, but now I'm doing my podcast Monday, I mean, Saturday, Sunday, Monday morning. I just love to get them out of the way. It feels so good. So let's talk about podcasting a little bit. Why do I like it? Because it's audio. It's easy to do. In here is this is the actual microphone that I did for the majority of my business. It was an Apogee mic with a baby sock, okay? And I told you, I'll put the link to some of my equipment that I use. I don't have this in there because I don't use it anymore. I use a Shure SM7B. I have upgraded the studio, but I don't even need that because the way that I do my stuff and the way I would suggest you do it is be very authentic. The more you get into production and the more you try to overproduce things, the harder it is. It's gonna be more work for you. You're gonna have to get editors and a team. And why have all that complication? I can sit down with this microphone, do a coach cast in 15 minutes and put it up. And I can tell you why it doesn't matter. Let me tell you, because when I do my coach cast, a lot of times what happens is I forget the microphone. And I have the Shure SM7B with the cloud lifter. It's all badass. I'll put the equipment list. It's expensive. It's awesome. But then, and you've seen it on Joe Rogan, and I'm getting there rocking and I do my podcast and I get done and I put it up because I don't like to listen until I actually listen to the show the day of. I actually listen to my shows because I'm using my own system. But what happens is I put it up, I don't listen to it. So that Tuesday I listen to it and it sounds terrible. And what happens is I forgot to switch the microphone to the Shure SM7B. It's in the laptop. And it really sounds horrible. And I'll get a couple people say, hey, the microphone doesn't sound great today. But they don't care. They want the content. So if you're real and you're authentic and you really dial in your IP, again, the reason I like writing books is it makes you understand your language. When you start doing a podcast, you're going to have these ideas like intelligent life design, morning coach. And when people come to me and go, hey, what's an ILD life? My people know, like we know that, like that's connecting us because they know. When I say MC, what's your sacred six today? They know. I say, what was your sacred six? So people that are listening to me, we have this terminology. So again, the book kind of creates the glossary. I remember when I was working with Hay House, they kept asking me in this book particularly, does the mission come first or the values? And I had like 8 editors. That's one thing that drove me nuts. But it was great because it really defined my core philosophy of the get it done now process that we're using now in our business to help people get things done and actually, working with companies and everything. So the book helps you identify your vocabulary, and you want your vocabulary. You see, what's so great, there's so much AI BS out there, okay? There's so much AI. Everybody's doing AI. Everybody's putting all this stuff together with AI. I use it. I mean, I got it on the back of my phone. It's not here now, but I wear a Plod device, and when I do a meeting, it sends AI. I mean, AI is great. But what AI, the problem with it is, if somebody can copy you with AI, then what good are you, right? I mean, it's just do AI. And so many people are doing AI stuff. They're like, be faceless and it just doesn't work long term. You're not gonna be in the game for 20 years like I have if you're just using AI. You gotta be you. Like you gotta get with real people, okay? That's why I love the podcast. And again, when you're in somebody's ears, let me tell you, there's nothing better when somebody's listened to you in the ears. And I'm gonna give you a tip. When you do podcasts, talk to one person. YouTube's like, hey, everybody, what's going on? Welcome to the community. I know I do that on my YouTube, but podcasting is more one-on-one. It's like, how are you doing? What's going on today? I would pick an avatar. I'd put a picture up right in front of your microphone, and I would just talk to them every day. Now, we talked about content. You can go over to Morning Coach and look at my compass. We talked about that, and organizing your content is going to be really careful and really important. And we talked about that in the last video. Now, again, I'm giving you as much as I can in this blueprint. I don't want to overwhelm you because there's a lot of moving parts to my business model. I've been doing it for 19, going on 20 years. So there's a lot going on. But we're getting you the basics that you need. And what you need is something that's going to drive people into a membership. And then what I would build in Kajabi is some basic course with the basic fundamentals of what you do. Okay, so for us, we have the kind of the motivational stuff with Morning Coach, which I'm always teaching. And then we have the get it done now productivity stuff. And we've really started working with the Remarkable 2 e-ink device, which is bringing us a lot of people because it's our target market. So we sell a $100 a month program. It's a great coaching program, but you got to get the right person to have the disposable income for that. So we have that Remarkable 2 device. So we're building planners specifically for that. In fact, in 2025, we're working with them. So when somebody buys a Remarkable, they're going to come to us because it's like, man, I need this for my company. I need some structure here. I mean, one of the number one things I see on my YouTube on Remarkable 2 is how do I use this thing? And literally, I'm getting 40,000 to 200,000 views on my YouTubes just talking about that device. So we've made that part of what we're doing. So when people come in, they really understand that, and then they're getting a daily coaching and our plan. So they're working with us and understand that December's planning And then we've got check and act months throughout the whole structure. So they're working with us. And then to take it another level, this is advanced. I don't want to get you there right now. I don't want you thinking this, but we actually have belt levels. So we have green belts and we have yellow belts and people that are working through the system that actually they have awards as they go up. And now we're doing community stuff, a lot of community stuff, meetups and stuff within the community, because people will come for the content, they'll stay for the community. But the real driver is this. The reason people have stayed with me 19 years is they can plug in. They can leave for 2 months and come back and they still have the coach or they have the ideas or the thoughts from me, and that's what comes out. And what comes out is you never know. Like, I'm always getting ideas and thoughts. You know, I've cried when my dogs have passed away. I've been doing it 20 years. I've lost 2 dogs on there. I mean, I still get, teared up with that. And, I've had teeth taken, I had redo my mouth and get on there. And I mean, I've let people in, and I'm introverted. Like, I'm down here in my cave. This is where I like to be, away from everybody. But when I'm in front of a camera or I'm doing my podcast, I can handle that because I know I'm helping someone, right? And I take it off of me and I focus on them, but I let them into my life because the vulnerability aspect of this, and this is where you got to get over yourself, right? You got to get over yourself, is so important because people got to relate to you. And again, the self-selection process is important. You don't want everybody. You want people that know you. Back in the day, and love you. Back in the day, I used to put spelling errors in my emails because I got tired of grammar people going, oh, you got to fix this and fix that. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to be real and spend my time living my life. And if I got people, okay, that are not doing that, right? That are kind of, if I've got people that are worried about things that are going on, like the mastermind model that we're going to talk about in a minute, and they're showing up and they want agendas. My masterminds are jazz. When you come, there's no agenda. We're going to have fun and we're going to work. Look, if that's you and you're like that OCD and you want an agenda, then you're in the wrong room because I don't want you taking breaks. We have open breaks. You want to go, but I want you feeling you're going to miss out on something. But there's a reason I do what I do. And so if you're that type of person, then you're not going to fit into my mastermind. And that's okay because I got plenty of people that do, but the people that do get it and we rock and roll and we vibe. Okay? So same thing with your business. Be thinking about that as you're building because we all want to bring everybody in. But if people aren't ready to understand your way of doing things, then why are you building with them? Again, we're looking to make, what are we looking to make here? 20K residual. The problem with most people is they can't get there because they're working with the wrong people. Okay, they can't get to 20K because they're working with the wrong people. And 20K really is freedom. I mean, I don't know anybody in the world, right, that can't live on 20K residual unless you have, the way my business, I don't have teams or staff or anything. We have a few people that VAs and stuff that we hire, but I keep my expenses at minimum. I went to school, got my MBA, my PhD, did my MBA, and I look at these business models, I'm going, you guys are crazy. What are you doing? Why are you scaling like that? Unless you're going to exit, which I think is a great way to make a ton of money, why not build a lifestyle business? Why not build something like this that's going to change your life and focus on the people instead of everyone, focus on a small group? And I get it. That first small group is the challenge, and that's why I'm telling you what to do in the blueprint, is that you've got to start utilizing these tools in the proper way and simplify your processes so people can get to your IP, okay? And then once they get to know your language and they understand who you are, you're talking about that with one-on-one coaching. And as you're doing one-on-one coaching, you're getting into what we call our feedback loop, and you're talking to them, and they're getting results, and they're saying, you're good at this, so you can bring that into your marketing. And so when you do ask somebody, tell me about your problems, whether it's a email or survey or one-on-one, and they say, I got all these problems, and you say, wow, you got problems. When it comes to understanding if you can help them or not, you can help them because you've gotten feedback. You know you're great at that. I know I'm great at this because I've helped so many people do it. I've helped so many open their eyes up to a new way of doing business. I challenge people to really do that. If you're watching all my videos, you get it, right? But there's so many people that are looking for the quick fix. Like, oh, I want the quick fix. And there is no quick fix, right? It's about your IP, your intellectual property, about your expertise, and about solving problems and putting it in the market. That's business. And then exchanging it for dollars. And the value is all relative. Hell, the Warhol soup can is just a soup can. I couldn't paint it, but a lot of painters could. But because it was Andy Warhol, it's worth millions, right? So value is very relative. There are people that pay me a lot of money for my knowledge. Why? Because value is relative. There are people out there that are CEOs that want to get out of their companies. They're tired. They don't want to have 100 employees anymore. They don't want thousands, but they don't want any of that responsibility. They want to write a book, they want to build a system, and they want to get that residual income coming in and downsize. One of the big things here, I'm at a retreat center in Chicago. They're selling these $600,000 condos that overlook, I'm like, geez, these aren't even that great. But you know who's buying them? People that want to downsize. People are getting tired of all the clutter, right? I guess if you're younger, you're probably not watching this. Maybe I got some younger people. But that accumulation stage of things, I went through that. I don't want any of that anymore. I want ease of use, okay? Ease of use. So again, what are we doing here? Let's go back over the basics before we get into the next video. Number one, you've got to get a system. What is your system? Kajabi, okay? Number two, what are you going to do? You're going to pick a communication channel, and I'm going to get you checklists with this. Okay, so now we're communicating. You're communicating to people, which number three, I actually did this video before, is now you're making offers. Okay, what are your offers? Well, your offers are solving problems one-to-one first, then to groups, then to web. Okay, that's how we're building. We're building this structure. And what is that then? What is this? This is your IP. As you learn, you're going to define your language. Some of you already have defined it. You just don't have all this structure in place. Okay? And as you get that IP, we're going to start to understand that structure. And I'm going to challenge you right now to record every day because that is the glue that holds my business together. I've been doing paid podcasting. I hate that term, podcasting, but I've been doing it since 2009. This business model works, okay? Because you connect with people. Over the years, we've had over 10,000 members. And in full disclosure, it goes up and down. We have 300 now. It goes up and down. You know, we used to be $20 a month. Now it's 100. And I'm in a stage in my life where I'd rather have less of the engaged people that are really professional than more. Okay? So that's where I've gone through all this. But here's the key. I've never made less than 15K. That was my worst month since 2009 on this. Okay? So if you could just get yourself to say, okay, I'm going to put a content calendar together, and that's going to be the driver. What are people paying for? They're paying for a membership. Okay, once you are doing one-on-ones in your group, and you understand and you solidified your language, and maybe even written a book, you're ready for this stage. You're ready for this stage. Now you can start bringing that together, and they're paying for that Kajabi private feed. Okay, so when they're getting that private feed, they're listening to you on a daily basis. Doesn't take 10, 15 minutes every day. Okay, maybe you have a guest once in a while. No video, audio, so you can sit in front of your computer and do it at any place that you do it. That's your website here that's going to start throwing off money as you start building. Okay, and pricing. We'll talk about pricing. That's again, it's all relative. You may start low. Maybe you start $20 a month, $10. It just depends, and start elevating it up. Okay, maybe you grandfather people in, but I like the $100 a month price point depending on what you're doing. And then of course, with that, you're going to need some structure. You're going to need some courses and some structure in there because you want to increase value of the membership. So you're always bringing things in. You don't want to overwhelm people because that's one of the things that I do. I do because I give everybody everything. I mean, we've got a 17-day onboarding right now because I have so much stuff going on. But you do want to have enough in there that they feel like they're connecting. Now, here's the deal with courses. Everybody's looking for do as you do it now or cohorts. Courses are, a couple years ago, it was so easy to sell courses. Now it's a little challenging. But if you've got the basics of what you need to do, and here's what I would think. If you're going to be like a martial arts instructor and you're taking somebody from white belt to like a blue belt, that's what you need to build. And then the podcast or the daily show is working within the framework of that. And you will evolve that over the next couple of years. Like you'll get better at it. Like all of a sudden you start to understand because like the next video, we're going to talk about feedback loop. You're going to start getting feedback and you're going to make your systems better. You're going to understand who your avatar is and you're going to start working this business model. Okay? So again, you need a system. You need a system, and that's what I like Kajabi for. Very important. You need a communication channel that you're constantly communicating with people. Again, I like email and podcast. I like email and Facebook groups. I like email and TikTok or YouTube. YouTube's doing great for us right now, by the way. a whole different discussion. Okay, if you want to go down that path, but we can have it. We've got 26,000 people on my YouTube. It's not a lot. Like, it's not millions. And that's one of the things I think is so great about this business model. You do not need millions. Okay? Then once we have our offers, remember, what are we doing? One-on-one or groups, and then to the web. And once you start building this structure, I told you 18 to 21 income streams. I got affiliates. There's so much stuff. Amazon affiliates, like the links that I put for the equipment. I make money off of that if somebody buys. For the 24 hours, everything that be on Amazon, I get a commission off of that. So there's so many things you can do once you build this, and that list is your annuity, right? So that list, but it just can't be an email list. It's got to be something that you're talking to people. You got to know people. The world is changing so much. That's why I'm staying alive and actually growing while other people are dying, because I'm about authenticity, reality, and real people. Okay? So we've got this, and I'm going to put this in a checklist as we get going with this, but get your system, go sign up for Kajabi. Let me know when you do. Obviously, use my affiliate link, because then we got some specials for you, and let me know when you sign up. And I got some secret bonuses for you when you do. We've got our communication channels that we've established, which then takes us to our offers, and then our offers lead us to IP. Okay, and IP is our IP membership, our one-on-one coaching, and what are we doing? We're building our language so that we have a specific language that AI can't deal with. And we're building structures and systems and taking people to solve their problems. And more importantly than all of that, we're doing a daily coach cast and a podcast. I call it a coach cast. Call it what you want. And you got that daily show that people are connecting with you. And even if they leave for a month, they can come back and know they're with you. Okay? And that's going to be the lifeblood of everything. It's like, hey, I'm there with you. And if you say, hey, JB, I can't do that, that's lame. I mean, we're talking about a $250,000 business, and you can't spend 2-3 hours organizing, getting things together, even if it takes 6 hours when you start. And that's what I'm saying. For me, let's go back to the podcast. I use GarageBand. I just do an intro and exit from GarageBand. I don't edit. I don't send it to an editor. Keep things simple. Okay, just record it, put a front and a back on it, and upload into Kajabi. Go to Canva and make a podcast cover. It's that simple. Or go to Fiverr and hire somebody. But you can do all this yourself with Canva, GarageBand, or Audacity. Dr. Paul uses Audacity with us. He does our Saturday shows. And you can rock this thing, okay? I'll put some tutorials together for podcasts, but there's so many of them out there. You can figure this stuff out. Just do the daily stuff. Like, commit. Here's the deal with my stuff. Commit to the structure. Don't get caught up with what everybody else is doing. My stuff works. Okay, if you put this plan together and you work this process, it's going to work for you. But if you're out there trying to do all this other stuff and get fancy and put bells and whistles and stuff, it's going to burn you out. That's why I'd rather have you do it daily and work with people and get to know them. That's going to work. 15 minutes a day is going to work. 10, 15 minutes. That's what people have. It's worked for me for years. 5,490 episodes I think I'm on. Okay? So I don't mean to be rough, but I have to be, because this stuff works. And I'm actually, and I think this is the last thing I'll leave you with. I do this and I actually have a business around it. Like, I'm not teaching this. Like, this isn't the only thing I do. Like, a lot of people in our space, like in this space, I teach organizational systems. Like, I actually teach processes. So I'm not just teaching this to teach this. I actually do this. And I think that's a really important thing, that you can understand that you can do it too. If I can do this, you can do this. But you've got to identify your problem and you've got to start getting your IP together. Okay? I love you. Go out there, have a great one. Look, next video, we're going to go over a feedback loop, get this blueprint done, some checklists, and at least you got some structure. And then get to a webinar that I do or something so you can ask questions and we can figure out, what the future looks like for you and me. And if there's anything there, I'm totally cool either way. But at the end of the day, get the structure in place, start getting your checklist together, and let's make this happen. Okay, I'll see you in the next video on the feedback loop.